Hi, this is Simon Chan, and welcome to my network marketing training. Members of my coaching mastermind groups can ask me questions on a weekly basis. And today's question, as a leadership question, comes from Nancy, an Advanced Diamond Mastermind member out in California. And Nancy says, I have a general question. How many incentive bonuses, team activities should happen in a year? We just had our Halloween event and it went very well. When would they be necessary and when would it be a waste? How should the expenses be divided up? Usually I pay for all of them. I feel sometimes though that they may take it for granted sometimes. So in terms of that timing and necessity, when are these bonuses, incentives, a benefit for a team? A great question. First of all, great leadership, Nancy, in recognizing that you need bonuses. Like you are a giver, right? You're giving and helping, supporting your team. The first thing let's talk about the timing wise. So just think about in terms of like a traditional business timing. Everything happens in cycles, right? So in our business, there are good times and bad, and tougher times too. Good, there are months when, if you look at my business, it's growing a lot. In some months where it hasn't grown as much, right? So the first thing I will recommend is, and this is like $1 million business, right? So you need to put in that attention and detail, is that look at your numbers and find out, are there any specific trends where a lot of people join at specific times of the year? Okay, so I don't know this for you. I know for my numbers, when I studied them, there's always a time where in the spring, basically a couple months. January was a great time because people, New Year's resolutions, they want to do something. I know in spring and May were excellent times. Actually, most of my rank advancements when I became a gold director, ruby, almost ruby, gold, silver, ruby, gold, or a diamond, all happened around April, May, right? And the reason why, maybe the people, again, when we talk about marketing, that's study your audience, study your customers. And for us, our downlines are kind of our customers, right? Our prospects. So for me, in April, a lot of people get the tax rebates back, so they have money. They're getting money back from the government. That helps. Also, it's just a mental thing, spring cleaning. The kids are almost done with school. I think just good weather in general gets people in a good mood. They want to have a new start, right? The winter's over, new start. Hey, let's do something new. You're fired up. Some people realize, 3 months of the New Year's has passed. It's time to get going. I haven't done any of my New Year's resolutions. So I think in general for me, like when I did a lot of marketing, online leads, the tax break was a big part of it. Again, there's two things with the taxes. Number one, they're getting money back. So they didn't have money to join, even though technically everyone has the money to join. But the perception is they're getting a check back. So instead of splurging and wasting it, they was invested in the business. Also, when they prepare their taxes, they realize they need more tax breaks, right? My prospects, a lot of them, they realize, wow, as this amount of money go to the government, I can actually have a potentially get a tax break if I do a home-based business. So again, the March, April time was a good time. Now, that said, your people, your team, your group may be totally different, and I don't know. You have to go back. Maybe because of school, maybe June and July is the best time for them to start, right? Maybe September, is the worst time to start because they have to start school. Those are the worst prospects. People are excited about college, not even think. Or it depends on what your age group is, how old they are, who they are. But the general thing is go study. Go run a DLM report, find out the application date, and run some statistics. In every year, you can run a couple of statistics. Like overall, you've been in business for a long, over 5 years now. Just run the statistics of all everyone who joined your downline 5 years. You run a miscellaneous query and find out the application date. And then you do, you can do it by months. You don't do it by date, okay? By month, how many people joined in January, March, April, May, and so on. And then you can split it by year. Of that year in 2012, how many people joined in each month? In 2011, and then you look for trends, okay? I think you have enough data. You've been in the business long enough. Now, if someone's new, 1 or 2 years may not have data. But if you're in business for 5 years and everyone's telling me, your data always says you have a huge jump in certain areas, then those are the good months. So when you know it's a good month, you number one, you make sure you don't take vacation time, right? I make sure I don't go on a vacation in April or May. Well, those are, I know for my leaders, we bring in a lot of people during those months. Now, for us, during July, late July, August, in the past, even though we had rank advancements runs, they tend to be a little slower. In November, it tends to be a little slower for us, for me personally. Again, so if I was to take a break, or December, right, the Christmas week, it's been a slow week. So those are the times I take off. Right, I'm not going to be hitting us hard doing as many prospecting meetings. January has been an awesome month, especially for some products like Reset. So I make sure I stock up on a lot of Reset. So the point is you study. You study what your existing downline is. So then you have a basic calendar of when you are in super production mode, when you can take a little time off. Now, getting back to the incentives, you also know that when people go to convention in August, international convention, they get fired up, right? They get fired. So an event in September is probably unnecessary, right? So again, you look at the trends and you look at what other things like our company, like USANA is doing. So after a convention, your people are fired up. You probably don't need an incentive, don't need a bonus, right? Maybe if for example, this past year, USANA had given out free iPads. So that word is going to spread. People are going to get excited. Maybe you do it, maybe say your slow months is in June. So you do an incentive in June. Say, if you can get a certain amount, certain rank, you get a free transportation to the convention. And wait, last year people got a free iPad. So imagine what can happen this year. Right? Or you promote it, or maybe you don't want to promote. I don't know whether they're going to give iPads out or not, but you can run testimonials how people are excited, right? So you do a little promotion back then to piggyback off each other. So when the timing is, how often depends on your cycles, right? When it's up and doing well, you don't need an incentive. When it's down, you motivate. You need something, right? So a lot of times in my teams in the Philippines. Filipinos are generally very emotional. They're very excited, and then when they're motivated, they can do anything. They can run through a brick wall. They'll do anything. So every time it goes down, then we do like a dream building retreat, right? And then our leaders, my leaders are very good. They know how to run the events. It gets people fired up, and boom, it goes up again. And then afterwards, because you can't sustain emotionally, they get distracted, they go down. Then we do another event, and it goes back up. So it happens in cycles. It happens normally every quarter in that market we do an event every 3 months. Generally for me in the U.S. we do it twice a year. We normally have the international convention. So afterwards you don't need to do an event, and then and then that momentum carry through from September, October, November. People go, sometimes November, December could be a good final push for the end of the year. That's good. January, February, March in the winter months. People don't feel like leaving to do meetings. That's another good time to do an event, right? And that event in February, March, that motivates people for April, May. And then the summer, we may do something. In summer, that's when we take a vacation off, right? So and then we get ready for convention. We promote convention. We do maybe incentives for convention. So the point is, Nancy, find out what your study, your downline, when did they buy. And this is just like for example, just like in any business, the department stores know that, they promote up to, Black Monday, right? Or Black Friday, and then you have like Cyber Monday. Black Friday is the Friday after Thanksgiving, and then they do major sales in January because they know that they have to get rid of the inventory. Anything that's unsold in Christmas, they need that sale because otherwise people are not going to buy because people spend all their money in December. So they need to make major discounts in January, right? And then they can promote up to maybe Martin Luther King mid-January sale. So again, it's in cycles, so you need to know the cycles. Okay. Now, last question is paying for them. You definitely have the leader. Now, I made this mistake too. Leaders have to chip in and contribute. Okay, they realize this benefits the whole team. Everyone needs to contribute a little bit. You're the leader, maybe you can contribute a little bit more. It depends on what your people are earning. If they're earning consistently, they should be contributing. And this actually teaches them that what they need to do, right? It actually I used to think, I'm helping them out by paying. Actually, it hurts them because it doesn't. Number one, you're not treating a business seriously because in any business you need to invest. So by making them invest and actually contribute, it actually helps them with the mindset. Right? This is a business. We need to give back in order to get. Because we need to give, you know, to get receive. It's better for the whole team. All right, Nancy, I hope that helps. Yeah, run that query, the custom query on DLM. If you have questions about that, you can ask me. Or I actually have a video on my website that talks about some specific reports you can run. But know your customers, know your team, and your team's like your customers. So you know the cycles, and that'll give you the answer. During the hot cycles, you don't need to do anything. During the slow months, that's when you need the bonus and incentives. All right, hope that helps. This is Simon Chen again. Thank you everyone for watching my network marketing training. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.